As members of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC step out on Saturday for each state congress, their likely preoccupation will be how to achieve relative peace and stability towards retaining power in 2023. The ruling party has battled simmering internal conflicts across the board, necessitating series of troubleshooting interventions, including the setting up of the reconciliation committees. The festering crises are also underscored by the statesmen in many states over the outcomes of the ward and local government congresses conducted so far. The situation appears to have defied the logic behind the different appeal committees set up by APC top echelon to treat petitions and complaints arising from the conduct of those congresses. The attendant uproar, threats, and counter-threats persist, just as parallel structures subsist in some states as the APC gears up for Saturday's state congress. Governors, ministers, lawmakers, among other influential stakeholders, are main at loggerheads over the dispute process, procedure, and manner the past exercise held. And the leadership of the party seems overwhelmed by the avalanche of challenges trailing the intra-party elections meant to constitute executives at different layers. In the political space, in preparation for the general election and in line with provisions of APC constitution, states where the conflicts are most pronounced include Lagos, Oyo, Osun, Ekiti, Imo, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Niger, Bauchi, Adamawa, Kwara, Enugu, Sokoto, Ebonyi, and Cross River, with the members polarized in a manner of Abuja politicians versus home-based politicians in one hand. In the other hand, it's a war between the members of the national organ of the party and a group of other party stalwarts who believe sidelined. The fight also involved those strongly opposed to the perceived overbearing influence and authority of governors in the running of the affairs of the APC, such that their caucus seems to possess the knife and the cake, whereas the latter was jointly baked through the dint of hard work and sacrifice by a majority of the party members at the grassroots. The return of a national leader of the APC after weeks of medical attention abroad is instructive. His absence raised the decibels of discordant tunes over the state of affairs in Lagos APC. A couple of splinter groups that emerged recently have engaged mainstream APC in open altercations, threatening fire and brimstone over their demand for inclusiveness as opposed to the current perceived marginalization in the scheme of things. In Oyo, the various camps struggling for the soul of APC remain adamant on their desperate positions, just as the belligerent forces loyal to former Governor Rauf Aregbesola of Osun State and the allies of his successor, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, would not shift ground over the battle to control the structure of the party ahead of the 2023 elections. Governor Hope Uzodinma and his predecessor, Senator Rochas Okorocha, remain locked in a fratricida battle for APC mercenary in Imo. While the Minister of the Niger Delta, Godswill Akpabio, APC Interim National Secretary, Senator John Akpan-Udo-Dehe, and other high-profile members of the party from Akwa Ibom are at daggers drawn over APC structure in the state. The scenario in Oyo is also foggy, as the various groups are involved in claims and counter-claims over development and issues within the party dating back to its loss of power in the state in 2019. Rivers APC is still neck-deep in belligerence among its influential members that culminated in the wholesale loss of APC influence in the state in the last general election. A similar scenario persists in Bauchi and Zamfara, where the lack of compromise by the major power brokers and blocs cost APC victories at the 2019 poll. Other APC stakeholders in Niger State are giving the state governor a good fight over who should control the structure of the party and the larger political space. Led by governorship hopefuls, the aggrieved party members are determined to pull the rug off the feet of the governor. Ostensibly, due to his perceived skewed leadership style. Governor Abdulrazak Abdulrahman and the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, maintain APC parallel structures in Kwara State with no visible sign of compromise within 48 hours to state congress across the country. In Lagos, there are supposed four factions within the ruling APC in the state in the quest to alter the status quo, and each of the camps fielding candidate for the chairmanship position of the party. While a handful of aspirants are pure-breed grassroots politicians, others are dark horses who see the Congress as an avenue to firm up their dying political career. From all indications, the Congress might go the way of the ward and local government congresses where APC National Secretariat opted consensus method. The incumbent chairman of APC, Honorable Tunde Balogun, was elected in May 2018 to run the affairs of the party for 3 years. One of his challengers is Honorable Beatrice Omotayo Togbobo, a member of the AAM CO group led by former Governor Akinwumi Ambode. Similarly, Dr. Abdul Aziz Adenira led group called Lagos for Lagos that is seeking a new dawn in Lagos APC. For October 16 State Congress, Lagos for Lagos movement recently unveiled 36-member executive led by its chairmanship candidate Prince Sunday Ajayi to participate in the exercise. Honorable Faoud Oki, a former vice chairman of APC in the state and now a factional chairman of the Democrats Lagos APC caucus, is also a chairmanship aspirant. Oki is seen as a lone voice in his quest for the chairmanship seat, as his factions, the Democrats and the collectives, are perceived to exist only on paper. Like the Lagos for Lagos movement, Oki's Democrat does not enjoy the support of Asiwaju Tinubu, Governor Sanwo-Olu, and Governors Advisory Council (GAC). It is not unlikely that the Ogun State chapter of the APC will hold a parallel state congress on Saturday. The faction loyal to a former governor of the state, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, conducted ward and local congresses despite warning against parallel congresses. It is not certain whether the camps close to Amosun and the state governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, will work together. All is not well within the fold in the state. However, the appeal committee is empowered to look into some of the issues raised by some aggrieved members were critically locked with an appeal that all should close ranks in the interest of the party.